Apple just unlocked every AirPlay speaker for your Apple TV. Not just HomePods, literally any AirPlay 2 device. Stick around to see how it works in tvOS 26. Until now, if you wanted to use AirPlay speakers with your Apple TV, it was a hassle. You could connect to them temporarily, but every time your Apple TV rebooted, you'd have to set them up all over again unless you only use Apple HomePods. But with tvOS 26, that changes. Apple is finally letting you set any AirPlay speaker, Sonos, WIM, an old Apple Airport Express, or even an AirPlay-equipped AVR, that's an audio-video receiver, as your permanent audio output. That means fewer headaches, better reliability, and way more flexibility. I'll show you exactly how it works, what's supported, and how to get it set up in just a few taps. With the beta release of tvOS 26 available now for developers and available soon in the public beta or released version, depending upon when you're watching this, you're no longer locked into using HomePods for persistent audio output. Now you can use any AirPlay-compatible speaker. Okay, quick but important clarification. Whenever I say AirPlay, I specifically mean AirPlay 2, the newer version. Here's why that matters. Apple has actually released two different versions of AirPlay over the years. The original was just called AirPlay, not AirPlay 1, because at the time, it was the only version that existed. That made sense back then. Later, Apple released an updated version called AirPlay 2, which added key new features like multi-room audio, better buffering, and tighter integration with Apple devices. Here's where it gets confusing. Apple now calls both versions AirPlay, and they don't clearly label which version a product supports. So if you're looking at a speaker or soundbar and it just says AirPlay, you'll need to dig into the fine print to find out if it's really AirPlay 2, because that makes a big difference. Most of Apple's own devices support AirPlay 2 now, but many third-party speakers and soundbars from other companies, especially older models, might only support the original AirPlay, not the newer version, and they can't be upgraded. That's crucial because this new Apple TV feature I'm talking about only works with AirPlay 2 speakers. Thank you so much for watching this video about using any AirPlay speaker with Apple TV. You are awesome. If you are enjoying this video and want to see more on this topic, toggle that subscribe button, automate the bell icon, and get started on your next smart home project. So let me try that again. Now you can use any AirPlay 2 compatible speaker or even a group of them as your default Apple TV audio destination. Let's break down what's new, how to set it up, what it works with, and why this is a big deal for both us casual users and smart home enthusiasts. So what was the exact Apple TV limitation before tvOS 26? Before this update, only an Apple HomePod or a pair of Apple HomePods could be permanently set up to work with an Apple TV. Any other AirPlay speaker or speakers could be connected with Apple TV, but only temporarily. Every time your Apple TV reboots, went to sleep, or lost power, your audio output settings would reset. This meant that if you were using third-party AirPlay speakers, like a Sonos One, Denon AVR, or WIM Pro, you had to go back into settings and reconnect manually every time. Well, with tvOS 26, Apple introduced a long-requested fix, persistent AirPlay audio output using any compatible speaker. Now you can assign any AirPlay speaker as your default audio output, and Apple TV will remember that setting across reboots, updates, and power cycles. Now, since AirPlay 2 supports grouping of speakers, you can actually connect multiple AirPlay 2 speakers to the same Apple TV, even if the speakers are far away from each other. As long as everything is on the same local network in your home, voila, a multi-speaker, whole home audio distribution system for your TV audio without fancy or expensive specialized equipment. It's a simple change, but it unlocks massive flexibility. Here's how to configure a permanent AirPlay speaker in tvOS 26. So the first step is to install the software by updating the Apple TV. We'll go into Settings and System and Software Updates, and we'll enable beta updates. And now we'll get the updates and we'll download and install. So this is pretty much the standard process now. You update software, the Apple TV will reboot, and then you can continue. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Now tvOS 26 is running an Apple TV. Let's go into Settings. And here we can verify by going into General and About. You can see that it's running tvOS 26. So now under Video and Audio, we can go into the Audio section and select Audio Output. It says choose AirPlay speakers to play media audio, but it also says if you want to use AirPlay speakers temporarily, select audio in the control center. So indirectly, it's saying if you want to use AirPlay speakers persistently, select them here. But if you want to make a temporary change, just go to Control Center. So now back at the audio output menu, you can see that I have AirPlay speakers selected as the destination, and I have the Sonos Move configured. So that's it. Really straightforward, but it's a great advantage to be able to pick any AirPlay 2 compatible speaker and have that connection persist. The developer beta now in June, public beta expected in July, and full release expected in the fall of 2025. Want help with your smart home network and using any AirPlay speaker with Apple TV? I offer private, one-on-one consulting to save you time and money for any home automation project. Use the link on the screen for more info. So what are some of the fun ways to use this new feature? Multi-room audio allows you to have secondary audio in other rooms for sports games, music performances, live news, and more. Just conveniently listen to the audio from your TV anywhere in the house with another set of wireless speakers. The front yard, patio, pool, garage, all these rooms are now available to you. And let's not forget late night listening. Now, if you connect a small portable AirPlay 2 compatible speaker to your Apple TV, like a Sonos Roam, you can take this battery-powered speaker anywhere you go as you walk around your room, from your bed to your sink to the restroom. Are you enjoying this video? By clicking on the like button, you tell YouTube what content to show you. Help me help you, and click the like button now. Having additional speakers connected to your Apple TV conveniently is also great for tailgating. This new persistent connection feature works with a wide range of AirPlay 2 enabled devices. This includes self-contained speakers, Wi-Fi AirPlay adapters, sound bars, stereo amplifiers, audio-video receivers, AVRs, and portable battery-powered speakers. If it supports AirPlay 2, it will now work as a persistent audio output for Apple TV. No HomePod required. You can also assign AirPlay groups, multiple speakers combined, as your default Apple TV output. For example, a stereo pair in your living room, a group covering kitchen and dining room, a whole house music group for parties, or even garage and backyard for watching sports outside. tvOS 26 retains the group and reconnects to it automatically after reboots. Candidly, grouping multiple speakers with AirPlay, Sonos, Wim, or other systems is a huge topic unto itself. Let me know in the comments if you would be interested in a video with more details about grouping speakers and using them to build a multi-zone, whole home, fancy audio system. tvOS 26 doesn't bring new amazing features, but for audio lovers and smart home users, This is one of the most practical updates in years. If you've been frustrated by Apple TV's limited support for non-HomePod speakers, this fixes that finally. And since it works with any AirPlay 2 speaker, the number of options and configurations has exploded. So what do you think? Have you wanted to reliably use your Sonos or other AirPlay speakers for audio from your Apple TV? Have you been looking for something like this? Let me know your feedback in the comments below. I read all feedback and try to reply to as many as I can, maybe even yours. Your Apple TV already working great for you? But why stop there? Learn how to use your Apple TV to access your home network from anywhere in the world by watching this video next.